Silent Hill 1, Silent Hill 2, and now the third, personally, I feel like I missed a huge gem in the past, I could say. Okay, so how do I feel like, since I played now the first 3 games about this series, I do believe that those first 3 games really hits you hard, psychologically speaking, especially with the atmosphere, the story and the characters. I do believe the first game and the third game are much more different from the second. The second, it hits you really hard. It's one that hits you the most in the feelings. This game is also very beautiful, but it's much more carefree in comparison to the second, I think. It doesn't have the same strong atmosphere it had before. I really like the lore with Haeder and the father. It's something very interesting to see. At the same time, I can see it's much more like I can see it's pretty much like in the view of this teenager. Like Haeder is just 17, right? So it's a different point of view that I really like the character. I really feel her, like in my chords, I could say. It's a character that reflects me for many things, I do believe. She's very strong-willed, and she's snarky, and she's moody. Like a typical teenager, I would say, but she's a bit of a tomboy as well as she doesn't care. And she has a very deep look. I think it's more like about the protagonist that it's very well done. I'll say that this is a good game. I really like Silent Hill 3. At the same time, I do believe the more you go forward, you proceed, especially close to the end, the more you realize that the game is not really hiding you anything anymore. It just explains you clearly what's happening. Everything earlier instead, until a bit earlier, it was not really clear about what Silent Hill, about the characters. There was so much mystery. All of a sudden, these mysteries disappear. You don't really feel it like you don't have there's so many questions in your head that you could have had before, because it's pretty clear. So now we have finished the game together, so you know I can say more likely what I feel like. It says 4 stars. Yeah, is that stars, I guess. How can I see? So what am I saying? I can see that in this first game they were already missing an important point that has made Silent Hill very different from Resident Evil. Also, I have watched that the videos of back in the scene, how they were making the game, and it was so interesting to watch. It's I think like 15 minutes of a video of like showing how they were making it, and they got inspired from the classic art. And they had books, albums of all the European art, and that was like one of the things that really hit me the most, because actually they are inspired by real stuff, and there's a lot of symbolism and I'll say, but it's not like a strong plot twist like we have with the second. The second really makes you crazy until the end. You really feel the pain of the protagonist until the very end. Here it's like, I do feel like Silent Hill on the basics, it's most likely redemption. Or it's like my opinion, talks a lot about reborn and death. So, especially in Silent Hill 3, it talks a lot about how much Heather probably she has never really existed. Because all the time when you click the documents inside the game, there are those papers written also from the dead. Dead questioning himself. Heather, I thought it was Alessa. No, Alessa maybe has a Heather. And then she has like 2-3 personality. It's a bit confusing, but in the end, apparently it's the same person. It's just that apparently she has never lived, or she just dies, because at first we thought that Heather, she was like, has been an adopted girl, so like it's not even the daughter of Harry Mason. But Alessa's really exists until she was 6 or 7, because then you remember about the Silent Hills 1 ending. But then in Silent Hill 3 we see in fact there's Alessa, but then they start to do all these assumptions about her and Alessa are basically still the same person. So when you see all those movies at the end, like we saw Claudia talking about Alessa and Heather, I do believe in the end probably this all was just a very bad dream, or like a journey after death. And talking about touchy topics like religion. Like religion is something that anyway will change, always changed, since it always exists. But in the end, it's like God, in basing on the video games opinions and developers, God is more like, it's more like the evil in this case, because then they feel like it's like the same person. So in fact they do this analogy, especially Vincent. It says like it tries to correct Heather, saying like the God or Satan, and he's like, no, it's like the same thing. When he says that, it's like shocking you a bit, because there's this character that, yeah, you see, it's like he's a psycho, but he's making you see like this thing that it could be really be like, why there has to be 2 entities? It just might be one. So you see, like, of course you're gonna have like your theories and such, but most likely I do believe probably either never really exists in this case. Also, this analogy with the strong red light, you know, it shows both 2 symbolic things. It could be death or could be reborn, because also the dead fetus, it was all red. So yeah, that's my take. That's my take. Okay, it was pretty long and deep somehow. But yeah, that's what I feel like. I really enjoyed Silent Hill. It's pretty cool. It's like they talking about different topics. At the same time, I do believe still Silent Hill 2 is more heavy to play than this one. More heavy because it makes you really feel the pain of the protagonist. Here it's more like talking about religion and rebirth. It's like different topics, because the second Silent Hill 2, it's more about violence and abuses and how much people can be mean. And yeah, that's it. So thank you for staying with me until now, guys, and I'm sure we're gonna have more horror games, like especially like Silent Hill. It's like super great game, you know, very good game. Really deserved to be played. This intro is super cool.